Miami. Also known as the Magic City for its white sand beaches, warm climate, delicious cuisine, and its Latin American influences. Or maybe because of the way traffic seems to magically materialize everywhere at 4 p.m. every single day. Or maybe it's just because of its beautiful people and the magic that's happening in a lot of bedrooms across the city every night. Either way, Miami does have a lot to offer. This is why Formula One added the new Miami Grand Prix to its calendar for the foreseeable future. But if F1 is managing to host a race in the Magic City, why can't MotoGP do the same? Welcome back to Moto Misha Monde, everyone. Today we look into the Miami Grand Prix and why MotoGP does not have one. Thank you to all the returning subscribers watching this, and if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. That way you will not miss a video. First off, how did the Miami Grand Prix come to be? Well, let's start off with a rapid-fire history lesson taken straight from the most reliable information source in the world, Wikipedia. In 2018, a proposal for the Miami Grand Prix as a round of the Formula One World Championship was submitted to the city of Miami, with 2019 proposed as the first date for the race. However, after complications with construction and development plans, a proposal was submitted for a 2021 race at Hard Rock Stadium. In the end, the race did not make it to the 21 calendar, instead starting its relationship with F1 in 2022. And continuing on for the next 10 years on the calendar, with the race taking place at the Miami International Autodrome. So now on to MotoGP. Why can't the organization that races the fastest crotch rockets in the world sign a multi-year agreement to hold a second Grand Prix in America? Well, contrary to what you might think, MotoGP is actually not that popular in North America. I mean, sure, a lot of people do ride motorcycles in this region of the world, but when it comes to the sport of motorcycle racing, it comes nowhere close to the popularity of some of the other sports commonly broadcast on TV, such as ice hockey, soccer, baseball, basketball, and of course, good old American football. I mean, there are literally channels upon channels dedicated to one particular sport and multiple levels of it, professional and college. So when looking at MotoGP on the popularity chart, it just cannot compete relatively. In fact, when you look at where MotoGP is most popular, Indonesia takes the cake easily, while the United States is way down the order, which explains why I recently did a video on Indonesia and its new race at the Mandalika Bay circuit, which you can find in a link in the description of this video. Another issue might be the cost of actually attending the Grand Prix weekend. Studies into the Formula One race weekends in Austin and Miami have showed the disparities between the costs of attending those two races. Not counting the airfare cost to Austin nor Miami, the one that is cheaper in total is actually quite surprising. It's Miami. I know, right? The cheapest 3-day grandstand ticket for Miami clocks in at a pricey $640, while the same grandstand ticket at Austin is a mere $235. Quite a difference, right? However, Miami makes up the difference in hotel prices, with the median 2-night stay coming in at $643, while Austin is an insane $1,460. With the prices of the average meal about the same for both cities, Miami is actually slightly cheaper, believe it or not. But hold on, just hold on a second. There's layers to this, because it doesn't matter how much the race weekend costs on paper. No. What matters is the local people wanting to attend the race. And when you look at that picture, you can see why MotoGP thinks Miami is too much of a financial risk. Big corporations are all about numbers, right? And the numbers from Miami show that the average annual household income in that city is almost half of that of Austin at $34,000. At the same time, Austin's annual family median income is over double that of Miami at $82,000. And when compared to the rest of the United States, Miami is clearly on the poorer end of the spectrum overall as a city, while Austin is living the high, good old life above the rest of the country. So therein lies a problem. The wealthier people are paying less relatively to go see a race, while the people just making ends meet can't afford to attend a race in their own backyard. That's one thing the sports organizations must do: make the race accessible to the local fan base. After all, they should be prioritized as a key audience group for every race. But on the contrary, I think MotoGP can make a Miami race work as long as they make it affordable to the local population, as well as focusing on particular age groups to draw in the crowds. MotoGP is fortunate enough to have a relatively young fan base. As studies have shown, more than 60% of US adults who identify as fans of MotoGP are 44 years of age and under. That's if you count 44 years old as young. I'm sure if you told any 44-year-old that they were young, they would hug you, buy you dinner, and snap out of their midlife crisis, as they would be ecstatic at the thought thought of being considered young again. With that being said, I do think MotoGP is popular enough to host a second race in America every year, as a race has been held every year at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas since 2013, which is ironically another circuit that hosts Formula One every year as well. Ultimately, with the likes of Formula One now having 4 North American races on the calendar and soon to be 5 with the addition of the Las Vegas Grand Prix, it's pretty obvious that F1 has been making a push for its sport in North America to grow its popularity, and it has paid dividends. I mean, look at F1 drivers like Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton. They've been on a number of American talk shows the last couple of years, as their popularity has grown immensely over that time. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you heard someone other than yourself talk about Marc Marquez or Pecco Bagnaia or Fabio Quartararo in America? I mean, if only the charismatic riders of MotoGP could make it into the mainstream media of America, it would certainly boost the popularity of MotoGP tenfold. And in order to do that, you gotta start somewhere. Just invest a little bit of money, do a couple fundraisers, host a race in Miami, and before you know it, you'll have men, women, and children flocking to see the fastest two-wheeled machines in the world burn rubber on a Sunday afternoon, instead of going to see the next Pitbull concert. Who doesn't want to see that? Well, I guess if you're not watching football already. This is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you have stuck around this long, hit that like button, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel out. Until next time, this is Moto Misha, checking out. Peace.